Alright guys and gals in the internet, welcome to Salton Sea.
Welcome to Salton Sea. We're technically at Bombay Beach. The story of this place was back in the 1950s. This was like the resort town to be. As we mentioned earlier, this is the largest lake in California, but at its deepest point, it's only 5 feet. Now, what makes this place interesting is that at some point in the 60s or so, late 50s, early 60s, they cut off the water supply, and the salt in this lake became so intense that the fish died off. And really, there was no more point of coming to enjoy yourself. So when you drive along the street, you see a bunch of old buildings that you can tell were resorts back then, but since become decayed as they were abandoned. There was no more business. But it's one of the most interesting, unique places you could probably visit here, especially if you're going to Salvation Mountain and East Jesus. This is definitely worthwhile to stop. There is an official park area where you can go and stop, but you have to pay to be there. We like free, and since we've already gone there before, free is always great, and you don't miss any less of what you would experience. Let's go check out the beach and see if we can find some dead fish.
Now you can actually see that this used to be where the water line used to be, where the pier was. And over the years, it's kind of just receded down further and further away.
There are parts here where you'll see abandoned cars, the things that you'll find that are abandoned here. No bounds.
Now I believe at some point they thought this was going to be the next big, rich resort for people to come in, fish, do their boating. But when the sea started drying up, and actually if you look down, or what looks like dirt is actually a bunch of fish scales and fish bones.
These fish have been perfectly preserved from their time. All right here.
Yeah, right here.
Look at that. You can see here, immaculately preserved. And you think that might be the only one, but look, it's all scattered.
Now, it's not just fish bones. You're going to also see some dead birds. Since this is a video, you do not know how much this place reeks.
You can smell the sulfur.
It smells really, really bad out here.
Now, when the days are blowing in the opposite direction, it's not that bad because the wind is taking the scent away. But today, while it does feel good to the body with the wind blowing our way, with that also comes the smell. It's also really interesting to touch the sand. This is the ground that we're walking on. It's just got such an interesting feel and texture to it.
It's salt encrusted with fish bones and other different minerals and deposits, and I want to say classes of bacteria and fungi that probably feed off all this crap.
This is probably the best example we can tell you of the fish. Look at this.
Yeah, there you go.
Everywhere you look, it's just this. And that's what makes Salton Sea such an interesting place to visit. Wow, you can just sink in like nobody's business.
Yeah, it's feeling kind of gross here. Oh yeah. So you can actually see the stagnation that's already happening here, and bacteria growing on the top. This is not circulating water. Any inlets for fresh water have been blocked off long ago. Over time, the runoff and everything like that collected down here and created this soup.
And it's a real shame because when you're here, the views...
It's beautiful.
It's incredible. The shades of colors of blue as you're driving, you would think you're at like a Mexican Riviera, how the shades turn from a dark blue to a light blue. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And you look at the mountain range behind us. I mean, it makes sense to understand how this in the 50s was like the place to come to. But now, the White House has said that they are going to invest money to restore this area. If that happens, this probably might become a place worthwhile to invest, just because right now, as we saw driving here, you can buy lots for $7 grand with 99 down. In 10 years, you'd own your house. 99 down. if this place were to be invested in, be turned back into the resort it once was, property values would be sure to spike. I mean, it's warm, so during the winter, when it's freezing cold everywhere, you would have a very warm body of water to come enjoy and relax at.
Once you clean up all the dead fish.
There is that.
All right, gonna walking through the ruins of this old neighborhood over here. The Salton Sea started to dry up and the businesses started to move away. A lot of these properties were abandoned, kind of left to the elements, as you can see. Foundation still remains. It's kind of a trip, you know, something that comes from a Mad Max movie or a post-apocalyptic landscape. Everything's kind of covered in a thin layer of salt and residue. Always got to be kind of careful going through these ruins because there's these rusty nails that poke up everywhere. One wrong step and you might walk away with a few extra injuries. Long maroon boat. Remains of the old pier structures.
Well, it stinks here, doesn't it?
Hella.
Yeah.
It stinks a lot.
See, here's the thing. The wind blowing in, it's refreshing, but it carries that smell. And
It's a little minty and rancid, a little
death.
a little deathy.
Yep, very deathy.
So I think we got to get out of here before we catch the deathy.
Mm-hmm. I really hope this place returns to being that resort paradise that it once was. The views are just, I just can't, every time we come here, I cannot get over that mountain range.
It's nice. It's nice, except for the highway of dead fish that's out there.
Yeah. If this place was invested in and returned to its glory, it's going to be such a great place to visit, honestly. And I do hope they would preserve some of this historical stuff, but the views are just amazing. You come here, especially like in the wintertime, when I think the smell was less intense, but you can just appreciate the views all over. But I mean, this place really makes sense just because warm weather, lake, it means a fun place to visit. Absolutely.
You can definitely tell what the original builders had in mind when they first set up the resorts.
Yeah.
And you can tell how much of a shame it must have been just to watch it go into decline.
Watch it crumble.
Personally, I kind of like the grit and the decay. That's a personal taste, I suppose. I can't say everybody's going to be down for that.
And we found out earlier about how a lot of people come to this place to die. There's just a very profound sense of freedom. But that being said, I would like to see this place come back to life.
Well, and if you guys would like to see more of such places,
please keep subscribed to our channel. Thank you for watching, but don't forget also of our Twitter page, our Facebook page, the Instagram page. We're going to let you know where we're doing. Sometimes we'll be doing a live Facebook stream as we're driving to our locations because you just never know what's going to be said in a 2.5-hour drive to a destination such as this.
And comment if you know any really good locations. If you have any suggestions for us to check out, we'll be happy to check them out for you.
We love hearing from you. We got some great advice today from people telling us where we should go visit next. But I think it's time to call that a wrap, Darius.
All right.
Until then, Take care, everybody.